What's up, people? We had to call an emergency meeting because CM Punk has been fired by AEW. Big up everyone that's here live. Big up everyone that's gonna watch this back. Let's make sure you subscribe to WRESTHINGS. I'm just going to read. I'm going to start by reading the press release, and then Mandem, you know what to do. Sound off from there. But yeah, let's get into the press release first. So, All Elite Wrestling has terminated the wrestler and employment agreement terms between Phillip Brooks, CM Punk, and AEW with cause effective immediately. The termination was confirmed today by Tony Khan, CEO, General Manager, and Head of Creative of AEW. The termination follows a week-long internal investigation of an incident occurring backstage at AEW All in London on Sunday, August 27th. Following the investigation, the AEW Discipline Committee met and later convened with outside legal counsel before making a unanimous decision to Khan that CM Punk be terminated with cause. Tony Khan was quoted as saying, "Phil played an important role within AEW and I thank him for his contributions. The termination of his AEW contract with cause is ultimately my decision and mine alone. Of course, I wish I didn't have to share this news, which may come as a disappointment to many of our fans. Nevertheless, I am making the decision in the best interests of many amazing people who make AEW possible every week. Our talent, staff, venue operators, and many others whose efforts are unsung, but essential to bringing our fans great shows on television at our arenas and stadiums throughout the world." So yeah, obviously there's Collision tomorrow emanating from Chicago. There is All Out.
Collision's today.
Oh, Collision's today. Sorry. I think it's Friday. Yeah, Collision's today from Chicago. All Out from Chicago. Ultimately, his name wasn't really advertised for any of this stuff because he had been suspended earlier in the week. But yeah, CM Punk has been fired. Guys watching live, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here. Mandem, what are we saying?
Wow. I can't lie, I'm making this thumbnail now, so it may look like I'm fuming, which I am. But we'll get into it. You man run it. I'm just trying to get this.
Can you share why you're fuming?
Do you know what it is? It's that I don't know, man. A lot of people are gonna come and say, but TK's tried, this guy's tried, that guy's tried, but I don't know. I just feel like CM Punk being fired from AEW, in my eyes, as a viewer, it's slightly a big loss. CM Punk was one of the reasons why I watched, like, whenever CM Punk was on AEW television, I made sure I watched it because I thought like the brother was entertaining.
It was more interesting.
You guys that proper like the whole, go in there, just have a bang of a match. Cool, that's fine. When CM Punk came in, I feel like he kind of like balanced it out in a way. A lot of things got balanced out. A lot of people like stepped up. A lot of stories started to come out of it. A lot of all the stuff started to come out. And I feel like CM Punk kind of helped that. Even the whole promos and stuff that he used to cut as well. Like, it was great. We're about to like enter a new storyline with him and a new title and stuff. And I felt like it was going to be good. But yeah, him leaving, can't lie, it's a big, for me personally, in terms of like, people are going to come and say, oh, he was suspended, he was injured, blah, blah. But when he was on TV, it was great. Let's be honest, when it was good, it was good. It's like having that, when you're back in the day, you have a girl where, like, you guys argue all the time, but when it's good, it's good. Like what Ash used to say, when it's good, it's good. Man, let's not deny it. When it's good, it's great.
But before we open up the floor, yeah, I'm not denying, like you're saying, when it was good, it was good. Before we get to the others, yeah, are you conscious? And when you're saying all of this, are you conscious this is like basically 1 year since the whole Brawl Out thing?
Yeah, of course.
And we're back here with the same character involved.
Look, I get that, of course. Like, let's get things straight. CM Punk's not a saint. He's not a saint. He's not Angel Gabriel. He's not like, let's be honest, anyone in wrestling is not a saint. Obviously the thing that led towards it called Jungle Boy backstage as well. I can't lie. Bro, that's a viral. Him going around telling Mandem, oh, I'm gonna say this, and he goes out and says it's a viral. So I don't blame CM Punk for going out there and doing what he did. I'm just saying as that. You guys can argue who you want. I don't blame him for that. But I don't know, man. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like things. I don't know. Let me do this one, please, because yeah. Do it, man.
Anyone else? NK, the chat. I think want to hear from you.
Listen, I'm gonna go on the soliloquy. So please, I want everyone to cook first before I speak.
No, do your monologue, man. It's calm.
Hey!
Your monologue.
Justice has been served. Listen, it's about damn time. Like Lizzo, listen, I've told Mandem from the Brawl Out review. Cool. Brawl Out happened a year ago, and you want to do anniversary and do all in the biggest event, put Mandem in headlock. I don't care if Mandem were provoking you. You've got 81,000 people in an arena, the biggest event of the company, and you want to start waiting for Mandem at the door, waiting for Mandem at the entrance, and putting them in headlocks. Before CM Punk, I'm not saying that AEW was harmonious and peaceful and it was a utopia. There might have been stuff behind the scenes, but we didn't hear about that. But once CM Punk entered, you see, once the honeymoon ended, it's like when you start linking a girl, it's like, rah, I've linked this girl's nice, rare, tear. Then the problems start happening. Then she's causing dysfunction amongst your friends, dysfunction in your house, but you're not listening to it. TK wasn't listening to it. TK was like, no, I back CM Punk. This guy gets injured, causes brawl out. I'ma back him. He comes back, he gets injured again. CM Punk is a liability. Don't get me wrong. He's a legend. His contributions towards wrestling can never be understated. But if one man is causing my company to have drama week in, week out, he must go. He must go. CM Punk leaving is necessary. We will miss him. The company was here before him. It will be here after him. If you might want to go away and what's the product, that's fine. CM Punk ain't even been on TV for you to miss him. Let's keep it a buck. He ain't been around. Man, them are telling me angles that they miss. Them angles happened in 2022. They ain't happened in 2023. All man's been doing in 2023 is beef and Ricky Starks on TV. I'm saying CM Punk ain't been... Listen, when it comes to Philip Brooks, he's a liability. He must go. It's simple as. And Tony Khan did the right thing. It took him long enough. Because remember, the Elite signing wasn't a foregone conclusion. He's lucky the Elite re-signed. And all of and the thing is, it's not because of Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy is what we like to call the straw that broke the camel's back. If Jungle Boy just happened, this would be an isolated incident. CM Punk's incidents are nothing but isolated. Then you compile all the information WWE were telling us about this guy that people like me ignored because, F the E. I wasn't listening to Triple H and these man when they were telling us CM Punk is a virus, he's a cancer, he's a corona. I wasn't listening. I was like, you know what? Let us rehab him. Let us rehabilitate him. We've rehabilitated him now, and look what he's done. My friend, go and shoot promos on Dark Side of the Ring. We don't want you here anymore. Well, I'm tired. Go and do interviews with Sean Rossap and Dave Meltzer. When it comes to AEW, my friend, you've served your time, and it's time. In the words of Claude, rest in peace, of AFTV, it's time to go. That's it.
Time to go. Sam, what are you saying?
Well, I don't really give a shit. in all due respect, it's a crazy situation, but it's seeming to me that this guy's just a nuisance. I just see it from behind this, from the outscape, and when I see the man them talk about it, the guy was barely in AEW for how long? Really and truthfully, so
2 years.
Do you know what I mean? So
2 years, 2 titles, 2 suspensions, and now an expulsion. Fired, given his marching orders.
There we go. So for me, I just don't care. Not like that, but it's just like, bro, You know,
Would you take
Which
him at
is-
the
is- I get anarfi's point though, like in the sense of
I
he has
can't lie.
such
Me saying
image
me taking my
demographic.
ego, I can't lie. I'm not. I have no say in that. I'm not the one that hires people into the company.
Would you, as a fan,
He,
like
he
to
should just
see
come
him in
back to the E.
Bro, if I'm honest, if I was as a fan, I like him to wrestle anywhere. AEW, Impact, wherever he wants to wrestle, he can wrestle in it. I'll still go watch him in it because I didn't do me. I've learned that not to support companies, support the wrestlers, bro. And I like CM Punk's work, so wherever CM Punk wrestles, let's go in it. You know what I mean?
Before we go to Del, yeah, like Anarfi, I totally hear what you're saying, and I agree with what you're saying. When he was on TV, even with this kind of middle of the road stuff with Ricky Starks, them man made it more interesting because of who they are and the characters they are, and there is something about him. Like I remember specifically the Eddie Kingston program he had going into one pay-per-view. I can't remember which one it was.
I think it was
2 weeks.
Gear.
Yeah, Full Gear. 2 weeks, they just made everyone invested and look forward to this match. Like master at his craft. It's all good when he's in the ring and that red light is on and the camera switched on. The issue is everything backstage. We've all worked in a workplace, right? Working in a workplace. Like you cannot have these characters running loose, especially when someone else is in charge. Because of his troubles of last year, they gave this man his own show. Collision is his show where he clearly has some level of booking power, like, and even still, he let his troubles from then seep out onto not just a pay-per-view, but their biggest show to date. Imagine like the consequences of if he didn't want to do that match with Samoa Joe last Sunday. And then we're all watching in the audience what's going on, and then we're just getting alerts. Something's happened backstage. Punk's not having his match. Punk allegedly said amongst this whole brawl and stuff anyway, I quit. He doesn't want to be there. So be gone. If this is where you're meant to work and you don't want to be here, you know where the door is, isn't it? They've sorted out the contractual stuff, and it's obviously paying out his money and his large contract, biggest earner in the company. But bro, like there's no other way to put it. But this guy was a cancer, like just literally, eating away the company. Imagine they lost the Elite earlier in the summer because of this guy, and then this was to happen, and they would have lost Punk too. Or maybe Tony would have kept Punk because he has no other kind of big stars like that.
Enough, he would have been happy with Will Ospreay versus CM Punk.
No, don't do that, man. Don't do that. All I'm just saying is this. Look, all I'm saying is this, yeah. It's for me, I don't look at the end of the day, yeah. I'm here to be entertained in it. Yeah. Entertainment is above everything in sports. Football, boxing, MMA, whatever. And I feel like CM Punk had that. But I don't know, man. I just felt like I don't know. I just don't know.
So
The thing is,
Obviously, they said that there was CCTV footage that Tony Khan saw, and apparently Mono was getting dashed around and blah blah. So, me personally speaking, I don't know the severity of this actual thing. No fan that hasn't seen the footage doesn't know the severity of this actual thing that's made Tony Khan come out and say, "Do you know what, X?" You get where I'm coming from. But from a fan, yeah, go on.
I think, but we've heard enough. Like there was even stuff within, the stuff that came out that he lunged at Tony Khan.
Yeah, that's
Are your boss? How can you
Your
lunge
boss?
your boss?
That's mad. This is the problem. Prisoners are running the asylum, and Tony Khan is also to blame for this because you've allowed for people to be running rampant. You've allowed for these small boys and for these orgas to just be doing anything. You've given someone their own show off the premise of because I don't want to be near Kenny Omega, because I don't want to be near Matthew Buck, I don't want to be near Nicholas Buck, I don't want to be near Christopher Daniels, I don't want to be near Colton Cabana Famana. It's enough. And the thing is, Lloyd, yeah, I get your point. Entertainment over everything. But what we have to also remember is that this is a workplace at the end of the day. Everybody, they're working. So regardless of what the entertainment is, what we're getting past the gorilla position, backstage, if things are not harmonious, fuck the merch that you're selling, fuck the amount of people that are coming to All Out, fuck the amount of tickets that you're selling in Chicago. It means nothing because you've now created a hostile environment at the workplace.
Okay, cool.
Bearing in mind, and just to say, I'm not going to now put all the flack on CM Punk because, of course, there are reports of people antagonizing him as well, and it just seems like at this point, Punk is just stepping up to whoever has anything to say about him. But what my issue is with CM Punk is, and I'll be real, from what I see, CM Punk is a selective bad boy. I'll be real. CM Punk is a selective bad boy because you're picking on Twinkle Jungle Boy, the Young Bucks that are 5 foot wet, but there's certain man. I'm telling you, if Miro was in that position, or Powerhouse Hobbs, or any other man with
Miro
stature,
said something about him after the thing.
No, but them man are joking though. The Miro came out.
Apparently, them man are joking.
Okay,
Yeah,
say no.
it was.
This is Tony Khan's fault, and at the same time, the problem with CM Punk is, for me, I didn't want CM Punk to get fired. I didn't want him to get suspended. I didn't want Jungle Boy to get suspended. But it's a workplace. They have to do investigations. They clearly have to do things that's fair. But at the same time, in the words of Shatawale, you won. Why you two? CM Punk is a repeat offender. It's enough now. It's enough.
But you know what it is?
Listen, CM Punk, Chicago Mugabe Punk. It's time to go back. Go back to Illinois. It's done.
It's done, man.
I don't know if you want to go to NWA. You can go to 1PW.
I've
They're
got
hiring.
guys, yeah.
Go to Ref Pro. Go to Progress. Go to WXW. It's
I've got-
over.
I've got a question for you guys, yeah.
Done.
You're sounding like a pastor, though. You know
It's
that.
done.
One pastor.
Listen, we all rooted for you. We cooked you. We rooted for you. And you've done it again 1 year
You've
later.
embarrassed us. I can't lie.
Listen,
You've
bro,
embarrassed me.
I'm shy for this guy.
I love it.
I've got a question.
I
I've got a
love
question for
I'm
you, yeah.
shy for him.
So what does this now mean for these Chicago shows now? Because Chicago was the home of CM Punk.
They were running Chicago.
They were
before
running
Phil
Chicago
Brooks was
before
there.
Punk, though.
really.
But
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
what pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, all out has always been in Chicago.
All in was Chicago, isn't it? The first All In.
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
one before AEW, but then the two that happened before Punk arrived were in Chicago as well. Like ultimately, that's the one thing. Chicago may not give them a good reception tonight, tomorrow, and anymore. So they may need to reevaluate that. But yeah, it's you have to get rid of the cancer, man. Like ultimately, again, like Punk, Tony Khan is to blame for this. It shouldn't have got this far.
Okay,
And-
is this the question for the now? So, is it a thing where Punk has been mismanaged? Like,
No.
You see, you have in secondary school, yeah, you have that one youth in secondary school, and he's been like, I'm not saying Punk needed someone to sit next to him in class all the time, but I see that one youth in secondary school that obviously he was a bad boy, he didn't do nothing.
Man said Punk needed a teaching assistant.
You get a teacher assistant. You get where I'm coming from. Do you feel like?
Grown ass man.
Problem is,
You're
But
Tony
I'm
Khan-
not-
Tony
but I
Khan-
mean,
let's be frank.
frank.
let's be
Huh?
frank. Tony Khan saw the money that CM Punk was bringing in and was booking with his cock. That's it. He was booking. He was getting horny and hard because he saw dollar signs. This is the problem. We can't This is the thing with WWE. Regardless, you can be top of the card, you can be bottom of the card. There has to be some reverence and respect. You now can't just come into AEW are now just allowing wrestlers to come in because they have a formidable name. Anybody can just now be telling Tony Khan, "Hey, you're a small boy to me. You're just lunging at your boss." But granted, people can now say, "Yeah, it happened in Attitude Era," but I promise you now, nobody's just gonna go lunge at.
I can only remember once it happened. Obviously, Bret Hart. That was.
No, but it's common occurrence that people
Guys,
have toe to
happened
toe with
before.
Vince. You know what I mean?
Actually,
But
yeah.
now, that's not happening, and that shouldn't be happening. And the fact that you have the goal to even do that to Tony Khan, and then you're now saying, "I quit," and Samoa Joe's having to beg you to now come and do the match in the All In. Yeah, I'm so sorry, man. It's a lot. It is, yeah.
Anarfi, you're talking about like managing him, yeah. Now, in like a good manager, yeah, would know like you can't treat everyone the same.
Yeah, facts.
Like there's people, and I'm sure in the case in WWE and stuff, there's people that probably can get away with certain stuff, and if someone else tried it, you're fired, or you can't get away with that. You're in.
Favorites.
Yeah, it's not even necessarily favoritism. It's just knowing how to like manage
Your
each
stars.
person. You see what I mean? And the fact is, like, they've brought in CM Punk at like top level, management level. So maybe even after the first situations that kicked off, they couldn't scold him because he's of he's of some type of, you know, management level or whatever the case is.
Mm.
Like, too much stuff has happened. Too much has been said. Even remember when he was sounding off just before he returned at Collision, he was making noise about, was it Jericho or Moxley and this, that, and the other. Like, bro, this is just no way to conduct yourself. Like, he has done great stuff for AEW. Like, obviously, you've mentioned that. Tony's mentioned that. Dell's mentioned, like, the kind of money, like, he's made in merch, this, that, and the other. But enough is enough. Like, enough is enough. Yeah, at what point are you just going to be like, I'm going to let you basically, you know, I'm going to mortgage my whole company so Punk can run wild here?
And here's the thing, about CM Punk here. Like, even obviously, like, I've been very vocal about my thoughts on Punk. But even like when he came into the company, like, it's like we all start from this position of, fuck CM Punk. When he came into the company, bro, we were like, this is your chance at redemption, or chance to dispel the narratives that were made about you by, you know, some of the guys in WWE, or by just certain fans of wrestling that were like, you know, CM Punk's a problem. This was CM Punk's chance to start a clean slate. And for the first couple months, bro, heaven. Like we can all agree, the first couple months, it was sick. Then the Hangman stuff happened. Then it was like, okay, cool. Like, you know, tension in the locker room is normal. But then the thing about CM Punk is that, why are you the common denominator? Why always, like Del said, why is it always you? Why is it always, okay, CM Punk this, CM Punk that? And I do agree. Tony, probably CM Punk's elevated position in management probably gave him like an ego to where, like, I'm an employee. I'm above you, man, innit? So I can bully the locker room. I can do whatever I need to do because at the end of the day, I'm an employee and I've been given power to do so by Tony Khan. But it comes to a certain point where it's like, bro, you, man, had your biggest show of the year. The company had its biggest show of the year, but then while the show is going on, we're talking about your domestics the same way we did last year, the same way we've done before you've returned. Like, it's a consistent pattern. At the end of the day, it's like, I watch football, we watch sports. Nobody is bigger than the club. Nobody's bigger than the organ. It don't matter who it is. Real Madrid told Ronaldo, piss off. Man United told Ronaldo, piss off. It comes a point in time where we must move forward if you're not bringing back the goods and the dividends. And at the end of the day, even we talk about Collision is a great show. I love Collision as a product. But you know, not to get into these ratings talk, the ratings ain't been sensational. So maybe from a business perspective, it's like, okay, maybe I can afford to, you know, get rid of this guy. Not saying he's flopping. I'm not saying that. The ratings just haven't been.
Collision will survive without Punk.
Huh?
Collision will survive without Punk.
It'll survive. It'll survive. It'll
Oh,
survive without Punk. Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, for me, and for the company, don't get me wrong, there needs to be damage. There needs to be things done after this. There needs to be a group meeting in the AEW locker room, reset, restructuring of positions, whatever. But we need to remove the elephant in the room, which is CM Punk. Once you remove that, you start dealing with the little micro issues. Because I feel like there were micro issues in AEW, but then CM Punk was like the big atomic bomb that just dropped. And then now all of these micro issues spiraled into one big issue, which revolved around Punk most of the time. But yeah, man, it's time to go. And for me, I understand what anarfi is saying about enjoying the product. But for me, I'm a fan who's online. Unfortunately, we're all content, we're online. I want to discuss the product for the product, not discuss the product plus backstage news, the product plus drama, the product plus this. And you can say, well, ignore it then. We can't, we're online. And the thing is, some of this stuff is affecting the product because now I can't get a CM Punk versus Elite feud. Now I can't get a CM Punk versus Jungle Boy feud. Now I can't get the Elite on Collision. Now I can't get Punk on that. Do you know what I'm saying? The backstage stuff is trickling into the product and it's affecting future storylines that we can't see because of petty drama. Go away, man.
It's not even just affecting like storylines. It's affecting people that can come to work. People like Colt Cabana are getting paid to stay home because they don't want him anywhere near what's it called, CM Punk. Christopher Daniels is getting sent home from Collision. Nick Nemeth, who the fuck is that? He's getting sent home from Collision. Do you know what I mean? Like ultimately. Right, I get your point, and I'm
also going to say one of your points you made. That asylum running prisoners running the
prisoners running the asylum.
Bro, this is it. I can't lie.
Tony
Mandem.
Khan is the problem.
Mandem need to be coming together, put them in the bring these two people together and say, Mandem, squash this fucking.
But it's happened though. It's bad. That's happened bare times.
I'm not talking about the elite and CM Punk. I'm talking about the Coban, like the people that is affect all of these man. Bring them in the fucking room.
They've
tried.
Certain things are deeper than wrestling, man. No, Dr. Umar can't even sit some of these man down.
Bro, anarfi. CM Punk in the press conference was telling man that Cole Cabana still uses his mom's bank account. It's deeper than wrestling.
That moment there, I would have pulled the mic off. I would say it's done. It's done. Sorry, can we get someone else in? It's done.
Yeah, but I'm saying that from moments like that, it's the whole putting people together thing is done.
Whose fault is that then? Whose fault is that then? Why is man even allowed to say that?
Tony Khan's the biggest offender here.
It's like it trickles down the disrespect to
example. It's an iceberg.
Yeah, bro. It's from the top. So if things were patterned from the beginning, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you know how? Okay, cool. You brought this man in. You know how this guy is. He's got whatever behavior issues, whatever. You brought him into this new school. Make sure someone is patterning this guy, even if it's me, Tony Khan, or someone else.
But the thing is, you can't pattern someone who already thinks they're above management, anyways. Yeah. CM Punk, I don't think CM Punk looks at Tony Khan and thinks they're on the same level. Yeah, Tony Khan is paying his bill, but CM Punk is looking at it from a perspective of like, I am CM Punk, the wrestler. You are just Tony Khan, the investor that just put money into wrestling. You don't have the straps that I have in wrestling. We say?
In that case, Boston.
That's what you done.
Yeah,
he's done that now.
Yeah, it's fine.
Think about it. Like you've brought someone into the company. You've made them your.
You guys got me feeling like Lincoln, bro. What are you guys consoling me for? What?
No, because I hear your frustration in it. But like at the same time, you have to do what's right. Like you've brought someone into the company, you've paid them the biggest wage in your company, you've given them a position of management. He's now the biggest draw, he's the biggest merch seller, this, that, and the other. Like it's very hard to discipline someone when you know what he's doing for your business, he knows what he's doing for your business, and he thinks that, you know, basically fuckery can run because who's gonna tell me anything?
Yeah. This is what WCW.
Yeah, it's the same kind of stuff. Like he has overly disappointed his fans. Like as he said, people screamed his name, CM Punk for 7 years, bro. Yeah. This guy finally returned to wrestling, and within a year of that, he wanted to do backstage call-outs and doing backstage brawl. He then got suspended. He's now come back with his own TV show because they want to avoid the problem. Another thing that TK shouldn't have done. You want to avoid the problem. We still want this guy, but put him on his own island. Even on his island, he's now causing beef with people.
Wasn't it last week that he went on stage, went out and said that's Hangman's toy.
Don't sell. Apparently,
you're laughing, but you're mourning him in the same breath, bro.
I'm not mourning him. Actually, bro, I just feel like the decision was a bit like.
Apparently, CM Punk from CM Punk's camp here, the whole Hangman thing, he was trying to do a work shoot because he wants to work with the elite in the future. So apparently, that was his idea of like doing a work shoot promo, and then in the release, apparently, it was like, yeah, he even admitted that was a bad idea. Trying to do a work shoot angle with the elite because he wants to work with them in the future, innit? Because from his side, the whole brawl out thing is squashed now.
Yeah,
he wants. Sorry, to work from whose side?
CM Punk side.
Okay.
He wants the Hangman thing was basically, it wasn't like a malicious shot. It was more like, hey, I know we're in Hangman's country. Let me cut a promo on him so we can set up a feud down the line. Bad idea, but yeah.
Well,
mate.
Should have been. Cool. If it was up to me, I would have fired him after brawl out.
Yeah,
you can't do things like that.
No, but the thing is, there's what's is it prevention? Bro, I would have blocked off the thing. I can't lie.
Sure.
From the moment I would have locked off the press conference and said, "Listen, it's done." I see him interested about. I think he's
Tony Khan is a people pleaser. Let's be honest.
I would have You see this? The referee. I would have said referee.
But no, I agree. Should have locked off the pay-per-view. But even if you lock the pay-per-view, even if you lock off the press conference, you have to lock it off after what's said has been said. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you would have said already a madness. You would have locked off the first madness. I agree. Because CM Punk said a bunch of different things, but one thing would have been said before you lock it off.
Yeah. So once he's back to say the next thing, I would have locked. I would have said, "Yeah, it's done. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah,
back to the thing. Done." You get what I mean? Just lock it off.
Fire him.
If it's pull his mic away, it's done. What can he say? And that's when you see if CM Punk is actually the guy that he is, if he's going to actually step up to Tony Khan in front of these press.
But remember, it wasn't just the press conference that went mad. It was the whole backstage brawl. And that's the thing.
What happened after that, though? No?
No, it happened after. But even if after the first statement, there would, because the first thing he said was about Hangman. The backstage brawl would have happened.
Remember about what he said about Hangman again?
It was kind of like, who the fuck is Hangman Page? Who lets a fuckhead like Hangman Page cuts a promo like that or something like that? It was basically
he pulled
about
out Hangman Page like outside of the promo he was meant to be cutting to sell his match.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the same segment, he started chatting Hangman Page's name, and he had nothing to do with anything.
Oh, you tried to make him like come out or something.
Call him out.
You lock it off. We say, guys, I'm sorry, we've got Keith.
It's live TV. What are they gonna do?
It's live TV, man.
No, this was live. This was live TV. This is on TV.
The press conference is still live, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's on Fight. It's on Fight?
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a tough one.
Listen, I feel like, okay, cool. Maybe I'm being exaggerative, yeah, and whatever. And I'm saying, okay, maybe you don't fire CM Punk back then. But the problem is, yeah, it's like, for me, from a business perspective, when the majority of your top guy, because it's not just the Elite, it's not just Jungle Boy, it's guys like Moxley, it's guys like Jericho. When a lot of these guys, a lot of the founding fathers even of the company are like, no, we don't fuck with this guy. This guy's doing a mad thing. And now it's not in the fact they don't fuck with him, is that he's publicly put the company in jeopardy. He's made the company look like bozos multiple times. Even apparently, this is all speculative, but even I remember when AEW were negotiating with WWE, Warner Brothers for their new TV deal. Apparently, Warner Brothers execs didn't like him. Like, you can go back and read certain articles about that, but Warner Brothers execs weren't fond of the whole CM Punk antic stuff. So when time investors are getting involved and being like sharing their opinion on stuff, it's like, but I get it. Business, you want to make money, cool. But at some point, the money isn't worth the headache. And this is headache. Man said all elementary wrestling. It's a high school, fam. Them are just getting into fights in the playground, post shows. I don't get me wrong. From the top, there needs to be restructuring and just fixing. But you have to cut the biggest problem out, man. And he's the biggest problem.
Punk sat next to his manager, his overall manager, and just insulted the employees and people he works with and this, that, and the other. And TK let him do it. Like you're saying, should have cut Mike, should have cut the press conference and said, yeah, that's enough here, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, at least something would have been said, but he could have, prevented the rest. He let him do it. He let him disrespect the company in front of the entire world. He got suspended. He kept chatting. He kept chatting on Instagram and all this other things. Like, came back, got his own show. This has now happened back on Sunday, on the biggest night of the company. This guy, before the show had the show was still in bloody pre-show. Yeah. The main show hadn't even started. A man tried to cause chaos. Yeah. Are you deep in who we're dealing with? Like,
he lunged, he lunged at Tony Khan. That's the icing on the cake.
You can't put hands on your boss like that.
Can't do that.
Your boss, because he put hands on his EVPs, then he put hands on his boss.
Anarfi doesn't answer to nobody, so he doesn't get it. But if I try to lunge at my boss,
no, I can't lie. I get it. You remember that time? I'm not gonna say the person's name, but do you remember my old workplace? Yeah. That I get it. I've been in that same situation before, and I was in the middle of it. I had to stop the beef, so I definitely understand it. But from that moment there, you lunging at your boss or lunging and even people, because imagine if like someone that didn't work for AEW, like someone that worked for Wembley, or someone that's there and like they're there to see Tony Khan or whatever, like they're probably like one of the people that like basically management memory and they see that. I can't lie, from that moment there, I would have exposed for them. I would have exposed them.
Who, Jungle Boy as well?
I would have exposed, bro. You're fighting. One, you're fighting in front of me. Two, there could be representatives from Wembley and England, whatever, there inside that ring. I would have exposed for you guys. Done.
Imagine there's a Wembley official just there in Gorilla,
yeah,
and they just see something like that and think, we're not giving you lot our stadium again.
Yeah, I would have ex both of them.
Yeah, but it needs to be. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like, obviously, like it'll be sad to not see CM Punk on TV in it. Like, it will, because obviously he adds something to the product, and he's a star in it. But we've stars have come, they've gone. There will be another one. There won't be another CM Punk, but there'll be another star.
No, AEW's got stars. Don't get me wrong. AEW's got stars. And I feel
moving.
like as time's going on, we've got the likes of MJF that's there to provide entertainment that when we need it. We've got Kenny Omega that's there to provide the great matches and even entertainment wherever we need. So I feel like AEW's got stars. So they're not lacking in that. But I was saying for CM Punk, obviously after talking to you guys as well, obviously we're bouncing across and stuff, ideas and that. I feel like CM Punk will be missed, but there's stars, they're really stars there now. So, but I'm just gutted for a minute. I'm gutted for him. Like you've had second chances. Like don't know what else to say, bro. I'm just gutted for him. I'm fuming.
Nah, man. Vince was right, man. I hate to say it, but Vince was right, fam.
Still, you're gutted, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm
gutted for the brother. You know, I'm gutted because it's like, bro, like okay. Let me pause this. You know that guy? There's that guy in Ends, yeah. That okay. I don't want to say the man's name, but you in Ends, yeah. He's a sick football player. He's had chance after chance after chance after chance, but he keeps going back to the roads. Then eventually ends up in bin, and you're like, fam, how many chances are you gonna have, bro? Yeah. How many chances are you gonna have? Like, come on. You've got friends that are telling him this, you've got older brothers that are telling him this, and he still does the same shit. This is it.
You were called so many names by WWE management to a degree. They made out that you were the worst person in the world, this, that, and the other, and you had a second chance at life at like a startup that paid you the money and made you the star you wanted to be. Like I say, as of this year, went as far as gave you your own kind of show. Like everything that you claimed to have wanted from wrestling, or to make wrestling this utopia and, not kind of follow the way WWE do things and make their place found. You had that in AEW, or at least if you didn't 100% have it, you had the ability to speak to the top guys to sort that out and try and make those dreams come true. You had that freedom. And he's done. He's done now. He is done. Like, obviously there's people in the chat saying, I think I saw someone say he should turn up at Payback. And obviously people will say he should go back to WWE and this, that, and the other. Ladies and gentlemen, he's done.
I think he's done. Do you know what it is? I think what would be a good position for him is that I think him working like as like some sort of like sports, like like a talk show, like what he done with WWE before. Something like that, like some sort of podcast or something like that. I think that's it for him, bro. For me personally, I don't know how WWE are going to look at this and be like, oh, cool, let's have a grab at that. Because, bro, the morale of WWE right now is very high. Very high. Like, everyone's working together. Everyone's happy together. And not to sound like this guy's going to come along and pollute the whole place, but WWE are definitely going to look at that and be like, is this good for business? I don't know. Let's move on.
Remind me, that interview that Roman did, was that a work about? I think he did an interview by Sean Ross Sapp with Sean Ross Sapp years ago. I think it was in CM Punk first joined AEW, and it was about just kind of like poo-pooing CM Punk a bit. But was that more like kayfabe? Or was that like legit?
That's all work, man. Because
he's done it in character. It was in character. But
got you.
Yeah, it was just arguing like who was the biggest star in the world or something like that. And but he's done now, isn't it? WWE to AEW. That's the only place he could have went. Ring of Honor is owned by AEW. So unless Japan want to touch him, and he can't keep up with them man in Japan, so I don't know what they'll want to do with him. He's done. UFC couldn't cut it. Like, what else? What's next? Even the backstage stuff that you're saying, or like becoming some type of sports analyst, presenter, or something like that. I'm sure the novelty will soon wear off. Like, I don't know the numbers for like something like WWE Backstage and how that did as a show, but put it this way, it's not here anymore. And granted, obviously the entire panel left and basically became all elite. But like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
they cut the show. So the novelty of even someone like CM Punk on TV is like you tune in for the first episode because it's CM Punk, and then what?
That it's gone. The not like you said, novelty's gone. It's done. It's done.
That CM Punk documentary in a couple years is gonna slap differently though.
Well, you're
It's gonna
getting
be
out.
excellent. It's gonna be excellent.
Wow, that docu series. I need everyone involved. Everyone, bring Kevin Nash, bring all of them, man. I can't wait.
I can't lie. You're getting outside the ring.
Good
brawl in,
content.
brawl out, brawl all together, brawl.
Say brawl all together.
Bro, everything's gonna be
Pipe
brawl.
bomb.
That's fucking hilarious. I want to sign him. Sign him.
Hey Sam, would you want to see him in WWE?
Who? What? Punk?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Him versus Cody will be cold.
But maybe, but then I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't really care for Punk, man. It's to be perfectly honest with you.
I don't see where he fits in at the moment in WWE.
That's what I'm saying. If he did come to the, everyone will be gassing CM Punk, all that bullshit. But then after that, what's next?
It will be a good month. One good month. He'll return. Everybody will be gassed. He'll get into a feud. He'll have his first match back. It will not spectacle, but it will be like, oh my god, all eyes on this match. And then after that, it's just promo, monologue, soliloquy. Oh, bro, it's enough now, man. Like,
Loki, man.
you know what I mean? Like, it's been a fun ride, and like we said, like entertainment wise, cool. We might be missing, but at the same time, we ain't starving. We're not missing much
At all.
We're not starving at all. Like, there's plenty to eat. You know what I mean?
It's a big loss, though.
No, it's a big loss, but at the same time, the bigger gain is that the morale will be better. We will have an extra better match on TV that he's not going to be on, and people will be able to turn up to work without the fear of being lambasted and told that you're using your mom's bank account.
He doesn't matter with the locker room like this.
No, but man, I can't even make it to the locker room. Man,
kicked out.
CM Punk is kicking them out or telling, listen, Tony Khan, you want me to show up in Chicago? Colt has to stay home. You want me to show up in Chicago? Nick Nemeth, whoever the fuck that is, has to stay home. You want me to show up in Chicago? Kip Sabian can't wrestle at all. You feel me? So
do you know how mad it is for him to stop Christopher Daniels showing up to work? A whole legend. HR, in fact, talent relations. How does a man send home HR?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's actually
why
mad.
does he have that power?
That is actually insane. When you're actually telling me that, I'm thinking HR.
Man said that
isn't HR the ones that are meant to be, that CM Punk's meant to be reporting to?
Aren't HR the ones that are meant to be sending people home? He's the one sending home HR.
HR say, hey, can we have a chat at break time, please? Just join me in the cafe.
That is nuts. No, Punk's in these people's heads, man. Punk's was really in these people's heads.
What does Tony Khan have to do moving forward so we can avoid this? Because clearly a lot of these wrestlers, their britches are getting too big for them now. Jack Perry is now having an attitude. I don't know where that came from. He wasn't this bad boy before. All we knew him for was Anna J and wearing jungle pant. Now he's a bad boy. I don't get it. More of these bad boys are going to come. So what does Tony Khan have to do as the CEO, as the general manager, as the leader of AEW? What does he need to do to avoid this in the future?
I think before, like, Collision's going to happen tonight, and then we get through the pay-per-view. There's the more important things right now on his plate. Wednesday before Dynamite, if you guys are all meant to report to work by 1:30 before the show, you people are getting there by 11 o'clock in the morning. And we are all, as a company, going to sit down and have a conversation. And firstly, he needs to hold his hands up and say, you know, I've let a lot slide here, because it's more than Punk. There has been Andrade versus Sammy Guevara. There has been Eddie Kingston versus Sammy Guevara. So it's more than Punk, but all of this has been let slide or been dealt with incorrectly. He needs to lay the foundation to kind of let everybody know who's in charge here. If it's not me, these are the figures that you report to or we're listening to or whatever the case is. He needs to hold his hands up firstly and say he done wrong. But it's to regain the asylum. As you said, Del, the prisoners are running wild. The prisoners have been running wild for a minute now. He has to regain the asylum. Everyone get back in your cell. And I only let you out on the wing when I'm telling you it's time to come out. Like, because right now, this company is resembling WCW. I pissed my pants last night when I saw flipping Dennis Rodman was going to be on Collision.
Yeah.
But probably because Punk isn't. And it's WCW. Like, this is how this company quickly, you know, went down the drain when WCW should have been a contender, should have been continuing to beat WWE. So he's got to apologize. He's got to set the standard again. We need AEW how I'd like it is to go back to the indie-rific, what it was when it began. I'm seeing names of people I don't know, new talents and stuff like that. Maybe part of this issue has been a lot of people from WWE have crossed over, big shots, and I'm not trying to put this on anyone, but like you think you didn't get your chance over there, so I'm now a big fish in a small pond in AEW, and there's, you know, there's still camaraderie, but there's people thinking that they're greater than. You see what I mean? Whereas when AEW started, everyone was kind of on the same playing field. The biggest place of import was New Japan, but them man hadn't necessarily been on TV, so everyone was coming in on the same playing field. But maybe the WWE people coming in have maybe cause some type of what's the word?
Disillusion.
Yeah, like people are just kind of jostling for position a bit more, and generally they are, because there's just a load of talents as well. So yeah, I think it's just self-acceptance from him, and then definitely just start again with everything in terms of managing people and just get this place back to, I guess, what it seemed to be for a long time, before, you know, we started hearing about all this stuff.
He needs a better team, man. He's dealing with too much. He's clearly dealing with too much, and there's too much like over familiarity with the wrestlers. I personally don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, from face value, it's a good thing to see that, you know, the boss has such good relationship with majority of the talent there. But at the same time, like we're seeing, over familiarity is what's causing that. And from what I've seen in history, I never see wrestling companies last that long when they have great relationships with every single wrestler. And we've seen it with ECW. Paul Heyman, all the wrestlers would have died for Paul Heyman. They would have done anything for Paul Heyman. But checks started to bounce. Wrestlers weren't even turning up. Pay-per-views weren't selling as well. Company got sold. Do you know what I mean? At some point, I get it. Tony Khan is your boss. Tony Khan is your friend at the same time. But there needs to be some sort of, like, I don't know. I feel like maybe Tony Khan has too much access.
Maybe
he has too much access.
I don't know what the like structurally it looks like in WWE, like for the like upper management. I know there are people from the wrestling business involved, but I feel like in AEW, at least from what we've seen, there are maybe too many wrestling people involved, and maybe there needs to be a level of actual legal professionals, business people, yeah, to kind of manage some of those things at that level, rather than just, you know, Jerry Lynn, that again, all the guys would have known, idolized growing up. There's a level of familiarity there. Like, there just maybe just needs to be more in the way of actual people that they don't know and can't say is one of the boys, basically, and get away with shit.
Correct me if I'm wrong, yeah. Was when I used to watch Total Divas, isn't it? They had people that weren't even really interested in wrestling that would do certain jobs for them, right?
Yeah.
Maybe something like that. Could probably be wrong, but yeah. Don't know, man. I feel like this is a great example. This set Tony Khan has set a great precedent with sacking CM Punk like this, though, because this now sets a level to everyone in the locker room that if you fuck around, you'll find out. You'll be gone from this place in 50 seconds.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, this needed to happen. I feel like somebody needed. Obviously, like what Mekz and Delboy said going forward needs to happen. But like I feel like this is, I won't say a good start because no one wants to be in this position, but like this is a start in it, and just like changes need to be made going forward. But I feel like this at least sets precedent. Like, okay, cool. This is the first person. I feel like, I don't know. This is the first time like Tony Khan's had to like actually dealt with adversity like this. So maybe we'll see how he progresses from this. I feel like the moments like this make or break a company, innit? So you know, I personally think that this was the right decision, and hopefully we can see a more harmonious locker room. And also, I think my biggest thing going forward is AEW's relationship with the media needs to change.
In what sense, bro?
Too many wrestlers are coming out talking. Like these as per these sources, they're coming from the wrestlers. They're coming from the janitors in the closet. They're coming from them, man. And I feel like AEW need to be. Do you know what it is? I feel like in the beginning, AEW wanted to be the whole transparent. We believe in transparency. We want to come out and tell everyone everything. Yeah, but sometimes you're airing out your dirty laundry as well. And that's the problem with this ultra transparent mentality. It's like, yeah, when things are going great, oh, it's great. But things won't be great forever. And that's why all of these businesses, whether it's football, whether it's WWE, whether it's UFC, they keep their doors closed. Yeah, as fans, we might not like it because we want to know more, but it keeps the ship steady. I'm sure there are locker room fights in WWE, but guess what? We don't hear about them. Because guess what? This is an airtight ship. This thing will be resolved inside before you call Uncle Dave, before you call Cousin Sean, before you call Brandon Thurston, before you call these man, everything will be sorted out in this locker room and nothing will leave here. So that's the big thing for me. These things will happen. This will not be the first or the last time talent don't like each other, but this should be a thing where it's dealt with internally, and we find out 10 years later on a documentary that these two wrestlers had beef. That's how we should be finding out.
I'm sure WWE stars are even shy for AEW because every week there's something. Every week a wrestler's leaking something. It's coming from one wrestler's team. Another wrestler's leaking is talking about something on the podcast. Enough is enough. Just shut up and wrestle. Give us a fucking good show. Honestly, I'm tired. Every day there's drama. Who did we hear from? Dave Meltzer has just reported that so-and-so wrestler and his wife have now, it's like, bro, shut up. You're going through something. Keep it in the locker room and go home. What the fuck is all this, man? It's nonsense, man. It's honestly nonsense. Like NK said, there's fights happen all the time in WWE. I remember when Sin Cara and what's it called? Chris Jericho got into a big blowout. It leaked, got out everywhere. The next week they put in an angle where Chris Jericho attacked someone with a Sin Cara mask on. This stuff happens, but at the same time, so these things happen, but at the same time, they keep it in house. And like NK said, we won't hear about these things until 20 years in the dark side of the ring or a Peacock presents. Everything is Dave Meltzer presents. Wrestling Observer News presents. AEW presents. It's tiring. Every time I'm going on Twitter, I'm seeing Wrestle Purist tweet as per. It's like, bro, what's wrong with AEW wrestlers? Just keep things in the house. Everybody fights. We all fight, but we keep it between ourselves because we don't want anybody to now be looking at us like these ad buyers. What are they fighting over? These men are fighting over who's going over in the match. What the fuck? You guys need to get over yourselves, man.
And we mentioned obviously the WWE lot must be looking at AEW like they're crazy. This is why I guess WWE do what they do. You can't just go on any podcast. You can't just go and speak to them. And now they're probably thinking, yeah, WWE are probably doing us a favor here because we would be looking nuts like these man if we were allowed to go and speak and do whatever. There's definitely got to be a level of quality control and punishment if you're speaking out unjustly, especially about your colleague or the workplace. NK, what was that you said?
I said censorship. It's important sometimes. Don't get me wrong. I feel like everything's case by case basis, isn't it? And obviously, I do like the fact I do like transparency, but there's levels to transparency. come on. Your house can't be all the way clear. I can see the bedroom, I can see the kitchen, I can see the toilet. Why is everything so transparent for? Cover things up, put the blinds on. Like, we don't need to know everything. Like, I don't know. Like, I want wrestling to be like wrestling. Obviously, I'm a guy who searches for information. So if I want something, I'll find it. But them aren't even searching. They're going on Twitter and bang,
Bam in your face.
bang.
And have to look.
Pure is posting it. Wrestle Purist posting it. Dave Meltzer. Everyone's just fucking posting it. I'm tired.
It's
Like,
tired.
That's a search for it.
Tired.
But
Tired.
all
I'm
I'm
just going on
saying,
my FIP. I'm seeing Yash. Then I'm seeing fucking rumors. I'm seeing leaks. It's a lot. It's too much.
Like, leaks and Nash are mad, you know. I can't lie. That's a mad thing, you know. Leaks and mad. So you see,
I'm seeing wrestling leaks. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot, man. Tired.
yeah, man.
Trust
Like,
me.
for me, I don't even care for transparency. Whatever I see on, unless it's like real life, like maybe like health stuff and injury. Other than that, when it comes to people fighting, I do not give a shit. It's none of my business.
No, but no.
I do not give a damn. If you're going through a divorce, I'm so sorry. Sorry for yourself. I don't give a damn. I don't care for that transparency. What I just want to be, I just want to be entertained. That's it. I just want to be entertained. So all of this, this wrestler's broken up with this person. This person's now dating this person. I do not give a shit. Keep it on your burner account. Keep it on your private Twitter. Keep it on your Twitter circles. I tweet rubbish in my Twitter circles because it's for me and these lot of my friends. Other than that, I don't leak nothing because I'm playing kayfabe. I'm entertaining. Wrestling. Wrestlers, please. So fucking I'm tired, man.
Do you lot think, that this should have been announced after All Out? Like maybe at the press conference?
Nah, bro.
Like, if I was Tony Khan, I'm starting All Out with reading out the
announcement.
No.
I'm thinking,
the chaos.
Is there a level of jeopardy here? Because obviously Collision's tonight, All Out's tomorrow, both in Chicago. Like, what if fans take control of the show?
They're gonna take over the show.
Yeah, the Chicago fans are gonna take over the show for sure because we know how Chicagoans are. But I don't think it will be as mad. Like, it'll be mad, but I don't think it's gonna be absolute chaos because I think fans will turn. I think in Chicago we saw like banners about anti-CM Punk and this and that, and it's not like the firing has just come out of. I don't know. It's not like the firing's come out of nowhere.
It need to be announced the day of Collision.
I think it's. I think no. Don't get me wrong. There will be chaos, but I don't think it's gonna like to the point where the show's ruined. I don't think so.
Listen, let me tell you something now.
Might say a beach.
I hope not.
I'm not down saying Punk is petty, and Punk is like some next shit, But knowing how things work here, if CM Punk gets sacked today and Tony Khan didn't speak until the next day, there would have been an Instagram story.
Oh yeah, no.
There would have been an Instagram story. Guys, I've left AEW. No more. Look into my eyes. No more. Now I'm gonna find new pastures and new journey. Catch you guys soon. We'll be like, what?
Well, didn't you lot see the story like a couple of days back where they said that Punk didn't even know he had been suspended yet?
Yes. He was doing press. He was doing the speech and he got suspended. He didn't even know. Yeah,
but how when it was all rumored online and we all knew he'd been suspended, how wouldn't have Punk known he had?
Apparently the article so what happened was he wasn't personally phone called by Tony Khan or whatever. It was through his lawyers that they went directly to the lawyers. It was like, okay, we're suspended your client, and then Punk found out through his lawyers. So it wasn't a thing of like, yo, you're suspended. It was like, yo, my lawyer told me I'm suspended. Allegedly. I don't know. I'm not fightful. I don't know the full thing, but that's what I've seen in it.
So maybe that's Tony Khan's way of now kind of like breaking that barrier of familiarity, and now rather than him speaking personally to Punk, he's now doing it the legal way of, you know what, I'm going to speak to your lawyers, let you know, and then keep it stum, leave it like that. Maybe he's not having direct contact with CM Punk at that point until maybe the firing or whatever. Who knows?
After a man lunges at you, I think your direct contact is done. So I don't even blame him for that one.
That's definitely a situation like we were saying, that man, them looking over your back. Because imagine you're just Tony Khan, and obviously not to say he's lesser than, but he's not a wrestler, and a wrestler has lunged at you, and then you still need to sit in the same seat and book an entire show, and you don't know if a man's gonna come back and beef you. You see what I mean? Like, because he knows where to find you, because you have to sit there in Gorilla. Like,
bearing in mind, Tony Khan wasn't even necessarily involved in this. This between him and Jungle Boy. It got split up, and then he's now going to lunge at another man.
Apparently, monitors were falling on Tony Khan's desk, fam. I'm trying to watch the pay-per-view. You're knocking down the monitor. I'm trying to watch the pay-per-view.
Can you envision that though? Can you guys envision it? Because obviously,
and the show's about to start.
That's crazy.
Like All In is about to start.
This
like,
is like
minutes away. Like the match nearly didn't happen.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
Joe had to talk him into the match.
That's shocking.
Bro, I'm just deep in if the Wembley executives were there, bro.
If what was there?
The Wembley executives were actually there. I'm just deep in if they're actually there. Because that's not good look, man. And the fact that they're in that England dugout as well. I know that dugout is tight for them. Because where else are they going to set up the thing?
So I just got as per from the big bro. Apparently, big up knowledge. Apparently, Danielson and the Bucks are backstage at Collision. Apparently, there's
They're doing pack watch. That's jokes. They're smoking that CM Punk back.
Them man, Box or Omega. If Omega's about, they're gonna be on Collision tonight.
Yeah,
100%.
And there was
on some. Remember, we told you we're gonna be here.
And there was a quote from Tony Khan. I don't know if you want to read into this too much, but I think somebody asked him like, if something mad happened to you, who'd you leave AEW to? He said Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
If something happened to me, give like the whole lot Bryan Danielson, which is
crazy.
CM Punk's a selective bad boy, man. I'm so sorry. I don't give a shit what anyone says.
Yeah,
that guy's a selective bad boy.
Good, hey man.
Don't respond. Fuck that nigga, man.
Don't cry, don't beg. It's all over.
It's what it is, man.
I'm glad.
It's a shame. It's a shame. Like I said, I didn't want him or Jungle Boy to be suspended, but it's opportunity cost. Losing Punk, you gain more in regards to morale. You gain more in regards to better quality matches being produced. And like when CM Punk was gone, we rarely heard complaints. Let's be real. That whole time he was gone, we barely heard any complaints. We probably just heard complaints from like the women that are feuding each other. But other than that, there was nothing. So, hey man, listen, CM Punk, we thank you for your services. We appreciate all you've done in regards to jumping over the guardrail, being suspended twice, winning the title and losing the title twice without even having a match. We thank you. God bless you. I don't know. Go get some Chicago deep dish pizza or something. Like, go drink some root beer or something, man. It's all right, man.
Off top, I need to get some place in Liverpool Street, innit? They do Chicago deep pan based pizza, innit? I need to go still.
There's one like near Rhea's crib I went to.
Where whose crib?
Rhea's. I mean, her old house.
Sorry, this is
Oxford Circus.
In Oxford Circus.
Yeah, like right near Oxford Circus. I went with
Tell
Sean.
me there, innit?
Yeah, let's go. We'll go. Mandem, let's go get some pizza, man.
Deep dish.
Pack watch.
Deep dish pizza.
Hey, wait, you say free, yeah? Let's get some pizza.
Gotta be Punk. It's done.
I'm back on the roads. I'm back on the podcast next week, Wednesday. So if you want to go pizza,
I might be able to come still.
Huh?
I might be able to come podcast on Wednesday. I don't think
you might be able, yeah?
Yeah, I don't think we're doing anything for Cameron's birthday till Saturday. So sure.
Saturday, all right, cool. If you guys want to go pizza before podcast, I'm there as well. Let me know.
There you have it, guys. Pizza. I'm just reading over the this last press release I just seen. I'll just read it quickly before we get out of here. According to PW Insider, the reaction backstage is, as you'd have probably assumed, mixed. There are those who are really down about the news, but also those who feel it was the right thing to do and are even happy about it. There are also people who have said they're just happy that Tony Khan made a decision and the company can now move forward. In related news, Andrew Zarian of the Wrestling Observer reported that it was informed late last week that the soft roster split between Dynamite and Collision will be ending. That seems quite relevant as the Young Bucks are backstage at Collision tonight, according to PW Insider. Bryan Danielson is also said to be backstage, but Jack Perry is not.
Free Jack Perry, man. Free my boy Jungle Boy, man. Free him.
I have a question. Do you feel like this soft roster split ending is going to work?
No. I think it should still continue. I think the roster should still be split. I like it this way.
Because it feels like as much as the Collision format will still be there, because I love the Collision format, but it now feels like it's just gonna be Rampage 2.0. It's just gonna be an extra night with just the vignettes at the beginning with the promos and stuff, and then the match.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. Make Ricky Starks and Bullet Club Gold. To be honest, they've been the face of Collision outside of Punk, innit? Like when I think of Collision, I think of Ricky Starks and I think of Bullet Club Gold. So keep them man there. I still think the soft roster split is a good thing. Obviously, you can have a bit more. You can have a bit more crossover with like main event angles and title angles and stuff like that. But like, yeah, Collision, as much as like they've given him his own show, Collision's been a plus. It's been a net positive for AEW the way it is now. So keep it the way it is with the soft roster split. Like, don't go back to making it like a Rampage or whatever. Like, keep it the way it is. I like it.
We'll see how Collision does without him in terms of ratings and those that follow ratings. We'll see, you know, if there's anything. But yeah, I guess we'll put a bow in it, call it a night. For those, again, CM Punk's fired by AEW. Tony Khan has said that he took the decision after taking some advice. The decision's on him. He's taking all
The smoke.
blame and all the smoke, if you like, for the firing or termination of CM Punk. Thanks CM Punk for his work in AEW and what he's done, but it's a decision that he needed to make. We're majority in agreement with it.
We appreciate it, man.
A lot of the chat are in agreement with it. But yeah, we'll appreciate you guys for joining us live. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new here as well.
Join the membership, man. Don't be a brokey. I see bare of you, man, with membership badges. We love you lot. If you ain't got a membership badge, I'm sorry, you're a brokey. Come and join the members. Come join the Discord. Come get some exclusive content. You feel me?
And yeah, hopefully we'll have more. There'll be more information and more to talk about. Obviously, podcast this week. Listen out for that. But yeah,
hey, the post-punk Revolution Radio is gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy. I can't lie.
I'll be there, champagne in hand.
Hey, do you guys want to do it live?
They always do it live.
Do it live.
As in you man.
Revolution Radio. They always do it live.
No, as in you man face to face. You man in the same studio. I can sort that out.
Wait, why are your eyes open like that?
Because I see money.
This is the guy that was caping for Punk. Now he's excited.
No, I want to hear what this man got to say. But if you want to do this live with mics, a studio set up, I can sort this out. Let's do it. I'll make the trip. I'll make this trip.
Let's live till Thursday and see what the rest of the fallout. All right, people. See you lot next time.